Now, the sudden change of mind by the northern governors on the issue of zoning APC's presidential ticket to the south jumped straight out of a playbook, and that's the word in the street, especially here in the southern part of Nigeria. Why make such a substantial concession at such a critical time when just a few weeks and months ago that matter wasn't even on the table at all? Now, joining us to explore this a little further is Chris Nwaokobia, a lawyer and public affairs commentator. It's good to have you, Chris, as always. So, how would you describe APC's northern governor's stance on the current narrative, which, of course, is a contradiction to PDP's scenario?
Let me say clearly that what we have on our hands is egocentricity taken to its highest level. As you and I talk, what is profoundly obvious is that 2 days ago, and indeed yesterday, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria asked the governors and indeed the stakeholders in the party to talk amongst themselves and get the most formidable, competent, and if you like the chairman of the party informed the nation, get a youthful candidate who will face the PDP in the general election. And rather than do that, a few governors for selfish and egocentric ends met and decided, because they would rather opt for appointment as vice presidential candidate, they opted for a southern candidate. And then they detailed, I'm giving you very important information, they detailed 3 governors, the governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Bagudu, the governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, and then the governor of Nasarawa State, Sule, to meet with the president to discuss the issues about zoning power to the south. And interestingly, when the president got privy to the reason they wanted to talk with him, he did not oblige them audience. And a few elements within that interest group decided to release a press statement which was not signed even by the 11 governors allegedly in support of zoning the power to the south. And so the president is practically very angry with the development. But what is important here, and what we must state, is that at no point has the party, the All Progressive Congress, the APC, zoned power to either the north or the south. And at no point did the northern governors release a communique where they ceded or conceded to interest of power the presidential candidate going to the south. What we just saw was a few governors who were interested in perhaps becoming vice presidents of the country conspiring against the position of the party to perhaps want the candidate they want, they support, to emerge as the presidential candidate of the party. And so what we're telling the press and indeed Nigerians and the delegates who are coming into the country is to disregard that falsehood. It's at best hubris. The party is interested in, like the president said last night, ensuring that we present the most formidable, competent, and perhaps a youthful candidate to square up with Atiku Abubakar at the polls.
Thank you for that information, giving us that update. So clearly this is not something that this is not an announcement that's going to be honored based on what you're telling us right now. But we've already seen some of the effects of that in terms of groups that are saying that they're going to resist what's being said here. So how do you advise that sanity is brought back to the table, since we're already seeing some angry members of the electorate saying that, probably suggesting that they might take actions that are not legal based on this announcement?
No, my appeal to the governors who allegedly are in support of zoning of power to the south at the dying minute, at the 11th hour, is to talk, perhaps address the press and tell those who are angry that that position wasn't validly endorsed by them. That's point number one. Then point number two, we must understand the fact that you saw the position of the PDP. You do not alienate people from pursuing their ambition. You do not, for any reason whatsoever, and I've said on this forum that you cannot because you want to solve the problems of the past, create greater problem for tomorrow. The northern elements who are saying that, oh, power has resided under this dispensation more in the south than in the north, that is not my position per se, but I have said repeatedly that what we must do as a nation is ensure that competency, capacity, and the ability, the commitment to fixing Nigeria should take primacy over region, zone, and or ethnicity. And that's exactly what we must begin to do. So my appeal here to the northern elements who are angry because of the spurious information that was put out by El-Rufai and his team yesterday is to discountenance it, because the delegates know the truth, is to discountenance it, because Mr. President has clearly said that he wants the party to put out the most formidable candidate to face the PDP in the general elections. And I said this without equivocation, that the reason some of these governors are saying, oh, they want power to go to the south, is because they want to be vice presidential candidates. Two candidates who are from the north clearly have said, and I'm talking about the president of the Senate, he has said that the party has not endorsed any such position. And then the governor of Kogi State, who is a front runner in the presidential contest, has said that he never at any point with the northern governors agreed on that position. And clearly what we need in this country is a candidate who resonates, a candidate who cuts across every demography, a candidate who will be able to defeat the PDP in the 2023 polls.
Very good, Chris. Now, you can't help but think that someone's trying to sow a seed of discord here on the current narratives. But still on the issue of equity and fair play here, on the issue of President Buhari choosing a successor, that's also generating not so positive reactions from the public as well. So how would you react to this?
All over the world, and I say this without equivocation, all over the world, presidents try effectively to influence who succeeds them. Obama did it with John Kerry. Several other people have done it across the world. It is not a negative situation. They want people who will continue with their projects and their policies, if you like. What is important for us as a people is to understand where the president stands on this. And what he has clearly said is that he wants the party to bring the most formidable, not the word formidable candidate. And he's saying that he wants competency, capacity, and youth. That is what is important. And so those who are angry or those who are displeased by that position may just be more emotional and emotive than logical. He is not saying that he wants the worst or a bad candidate to succeed him. He's saying that he wants a formidable candidate to succeed him. And what is important for us, as I talk to you, is to appeal to the delegates of the All Progressive Congress to understand that Nigeria is at a point where what must matter is nothing but competency, capacity, and commitment to the common good rather than region or religion, rather than ethnicity or tendencies that border on our primordial biases. And so that's why we're saying that those who are surreptitiously throwing up the hubris that will create discord must be stopped. Those governors must come out and tell Nigerians that at no point did they sign a communique, because they did not. If you look at the documents in the public domain, at every point when the northern governors released a document, they signed against their names or on the communique. What we have is a plain sheet of paper attached to a document, an information allegedly released by the northern governors. They did not sign against the document. They signed in a plain, and what is simply obvious from that information is the fact that somebody mischievously has attached an attendance register to an information that he wants in the public space. But we are not deceived. The party has consistently said that the party is open to candidates from the north or the south running for the presidency. And importantly, even yesterday, the chairman of the screening committee came out in line with the decision of the court of law and our constitution. He has clearly said that not even any candidate of the 10, we had information in the public space about 10 candidates who were disqualified, that all the 23 candidates can contest. What is important for our country going forward is that we need a candidate who has the competency and the capacity. That's the document. Look at it. Nobody signed against their names. But if you look at the other documents, at every point at which the governors made a release, they signed against their names and they signed on the document. So whatever mischief that El-Rufai and his team intends to throw in the public space, like he did with the case of Buni and his committee. Remember, before the APC convention, he was one of those who said that Buni was out when he wasn't out. So I think that people must be careful not to take their personal ambition, not to place their personal ambition above the interest of a party, above the interest of a country, and above the raging urgency of now. Nigerians are not interested in whether you're from the north or the south. They want competency, capacity, and commitment to the common good. Nigerians understand that security is indiscriminate of region or religion. They understand that hunger does not know whether you're Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba, that hunger is a national problem and that it must be tackled nationally, that security is a national problem and must be tackled nationally. And so when we address these fundamental issues, we're addressing it dispassionately because the time to refix, reset, and rework Nigeria is now.
Well, Chris, what impact do you think this will have on the APC primary scheduled for June the 6th to the 8th?
Let me tell you clearly that the delegates are angry because of this hubris, this misinformation, and this falsehood. Let me tell you that delegates across the country, from the north to the south, and vice versa, are angry because some individuals have set out to deceive. It was Walter Scott who said, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive." They tried to deceive Nigerians into believing that the party and indeed the delegates are pro-zoning. The party and indeed the delegates are not pro-zoning. They are pro-competency, capacity, and commitment to leadership. And in that wise also, they are in support of a young candidate of a party, Governor Yahaya Bello, who believes that the time to fix our country and secure Nigeria is now.
Chris, if you don't mind, I might digress a little here. Now, Southeastern delegates at the recently concluded PDP primary had a unique opportunity to show unity for an Igbo presidency, but that was not to be, and we saw exactly what played out. So how will the North take this issue seriously, because it's going to be reverberating for some time to come, and I dare say the entire country as well?
You have seen the reaction from northern groups. You have seen the reaction from young people. Just before your question, I talked about a young candidate. He's the youngest of the governors who has consistently campaigned across the country, and his impact resonates across demography, across ethnicity and primordial tendencies, across religion and region. And he has said that the time to fix our country is now. And the resonation of the spurious effort at deceiving the Nigerian people by certain governors from the north is what you and I see. And like you noted, it will continue. But what is important, as you and I talk, is the fact that the party and indeed the teaming delegates who are coming into town have clearly shown that they are not in support of the deceit. They are not in support of a falsehood, and that they want the party, like, if you like, the PDP. The PDP opened the ticket for everybody to run. The time to fix our country and take it above the primordial biases that has held us down is now. And the APC is saying that they want the most formidable, the most competent, if you like Adamu, the chairman of the party, said, a youthful candidate to succeed Mr. President is now. We want a president who can walk and walk hours in defense and in support of our nation. We want a president who is agile, who is strong, who has a passion that is explicit and expressed, who has the determination to help fix our country. And whether Nigerians, I know that the Nigerians understand that reality. The mischief of egocentric few cannot stop that reality. And the young people, women, understand that a certain governor resonates across that demography. He has the youngest team of state operators in Nigeria. He has the highest number of women in government in Nigeria. And that's a young man, Governor Yahaya Bello. He resonates across the Nigerian demography. And don't forget that over 70% of voters in this country are young people and women. And they're saying that the time to take back our country is now. That's exactly why across the country people are saying the party did not say it was zone power.
Public Affairs Analyst.
The party said it wants formidable and committed a candidate. And that's exactly what we have on our hands.
Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. We appreciate your time and analysis as always.